Hello and welcome back to 3 English, your favorite place to learn about English, especially idioms, slangs, and phrasal verbs. Today is about phrasal verbs. As you know, learning them offers numerous benefits. It will improve your English and help you understand native speakers. Even for students, phrasal verbs consistently remain one of the main topics in exams. Here at 3 English, we are committed to guiding you through the most common phrasal verbs and more. In this episode, our focus will be on phrasal verbs with the verb ask. Are you ready? And our first phrasal verb will be ask out. It means to invite someone on a date or to spend time together in a romantic context. It's like inviting them to do something special together, like going to a movie, having dinner, or going for a walk to get to know each other better. Imagine you've been talking to someone you really like. You've shared some laughs, found common interests, and enjoyed each other's company. You start feeling a bit more than just friendship. So you decide to take a step. It's time for some examples.
After getting to know Sarah better, Mark decided to ask her out to dinner next Friday. Despite nervousness, Emily took a deep breath and asked Jake out to a concert they both were interested in.
It's underrated.
You could just ask her out.
It's underrated.
You could just ask her out.
No, but one of the guys at work asked her out, she said yes. No, but one of the guys at work asked her out, she said yes.
Let's move on to our second one. Ask around. To ask around means to talk to different people and gather information or advice from them. It's like checking with various sources to get a better understanding of something or to make a decision. Imagine if you're planning a road trip and want to find good places to eat along the way. You might say, I'm going to ask around for restaurant recommendations from friends who have done a similar trip. Or, if you're considering buying a new gadget, you could say, before making a decision, I'm going to ask around and get opinions from people who already own it. To make it more clear, let's see other examples.
I'm thinking of getting a new laptop. Before deciding, I'll ask around to get opinions from people who have experience with different brands. There are so many movies out right now. I'll ask around to see if anyone has watched something good recently and can recommend one.
I asked around, but no one knew where he was. I asked around, but no one knew where he was.
So I started asking around, when's the last people heard from her?
Our third phrasal verb for today is ask after someone. It means checking in on them, especially about his or her health, seeing how they're doing, or finding out what's going on in their life. It's a way of expressing genuine interest in their well-being or wanting to know about their current situation. It's like saying, hey, how have you been lately? What's happening in your life? Examples.
I haven't heard from Sarah in a while. I'll give her a call and ask after her to see how she's doing. My cousin had surgery recently. I'll call my aunt to ask after him and see how his recovery is going. Sophie missed the last class. I'll message her and ask after her to find out if she's okay and if she needs any notes.
Madam, may I ask after the health of your mother? Madam, may I ask after the health of your mother?
But I ask after your mother.
Ask in. This one is easy. It means to invite someone to come into a building or room, especially your home. When someone says to ask in, they're talking about inviting someone to come inside, usually into their house or a specific place. It's like saying, hey, do you want to come in and spend some time here? It's time for some examples.
I would ask you in for a coffee, but I have to get up early for work in the morning. It's getting a bit cold. Do you mind if I ask you in for a quick cup of coffee before you head home? It's a bit chilly. Would you like me to ask you in until your ride arrives?
So he asked me in to spend the night and put on a little show for you, Walter.
And the final one is so simple because it is almost the same as ask in. To ask over is another way of inviting someone to your home, just like asking them to come inside. Some examples.
I have a cool robot. Can I ask you over to play with it?
Let's work on it together. Can I ask you over to my house to study?
All right, folks, it's time for quiz. We've covered some fascinating phrasal verbs so far, but now it's time to put your knowledge to the test. Quiz 1. What does the phrasal verb ask out mean? To invite someone on a date or to spend time together in a romantic context. What does the phrasal verb ask in mean? To invite someone to come into a building or room, especially your home. What does the phrasal verb ask after mean? To check on someone, especially about his or her health. Quiz 2. Fill in the blanks. Despite his nervousness, Jake decided to take a chance and Sarah to the music concert happening next weekend. Confused about which restaurant to choose for the team dinner, Sarah decided to, and gather suggestions from her colleagues. Worried about her friend who recently had surgery, Emily called to and see how she was recovering. That's all for today, folks. If you found value in exploring these phrasal verbs together, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more language insights, and ring the notification bell for future updates. Your engagement means a lot. Feel free to share your thoughts or suggest topics for future episodes. Until next time, take care and see you in the next episode.